The organization today known as North Metro TV was founded in 1895 by Dr. Ulysses North Metro, a respected surgeon, farmer, and entrepreneur. His idea was a simple one: to provide his friends and neighbors with the training they needed to create their own magic lantern shows in the style of Thomas Edison and the Lumiere brothers.
Ulysses North Metro? I think you're making this up.
Few of these early productions remain intact today, but those that do offer a tantalizing glimpse into the earliest days of North Metro TV. For years, Dr. North Metro's endeavor labored in obscurity until his grandson, Judge Mortimer North Metro, embraced the budding technology of radio, supplementing the amazing radio shows created by amateur producers with staff-produced news and sports programs.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Sports Den. We're your hosts.
Yeah.
He's Jeff Dinsmore. I'm Kenton Kipp.
Dude, we started doing Sports Den like 9 years ago. It was never on the radio.
Then it happened. Television. Suddenly, audiences could both hear and see their favorite stars in their own homes.
I think that's the first true thing you've said.
Judge North Metro was quick to embrace the new medium and opened the doors to an ultra-modern North Metro television facility in 1956.
I spoke too soon.
That ribbon-cutting ceremony was only 3 years ago.
Since then, North Metro TV has been on the cutting edge of television production, with staff and volunteer producers alike creating entertaining and innovative programs the old-fashioned way, with hard work and good old American know-how.
That footage doesn't even make any sense.
And today, Ulysses North Metro's dream stands on the brink of the future, leading the way with revolutionary programming on the World Wide Web, and plans to expand well beyond our own world to the frontiers of tomorrow.
For the last time, we were founded in 1981. There was no Ulysses North Metro. We were never on the radio. This is really stupid.
Just go with it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2012 VIP Awards.
This is a night we thank all of you for your hard work here at North Metro TV. I am, of course, Kenton Kipp.
And I'm Eric Houston. We'll make with the awards in just a minute, but as those of you who've been to this thing before know, usually Kenton and I like to start off the night with a little chit-chat.
That's right, and we thought this year would be the perfect opportunity for us to read some viewer mail.
Yeah.
After all, we get a lot of mail here at the station, and we hardly ever get the chance to address those letters.
Kenton, you said we got a lot of mail. There's like 5 letters in here.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Let's start with the first letter here. All right. Dear NMTV, I heard you were going to be building a new building. Has construction started?
When was that from?
2003. We're way behind.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I can address that one.
Oh, okay.
Construction has indeed started and completed, and we have been working in that building.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, you wanna take the next one?
Here.
All right, there you go. This is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Dear Eric and Kenton,
Oh, this one's for us.
this it works out so well.
Yeah,
You all at North Metro TV are so talented and photogenic. Guilty.
true.
Surely you were big TV stars before coming to North Metro TV. What are some of your credits?
You know, that's a real good question. You know, I know that Kenton, you were actually had a small part in Mighty Ducks 2.
That's true. First trombone. And if I'm not mistaken, you were in the classic basketball film Hoosiers.
Yeah, well, kind of. You know, I'm just in one of the games, a small, you know, in the crowd, in the audience there.
There's no small roles.
True, but I am a small player.
That is true.
True. But, you know, what I don't think a lot of people here know is that a lot of the people on our staff have a lot of other film and TV credits. Our own executive director, Heidi Arnson, for example, has been in such TV shows as NCIS,
Yeah.
The Good Wife, and most recently, Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Yes.
And she was actually voted off in the focus group.
yeah, it's
Yep.
rough. It's rough.
And then there's TJ. Don't forget about TJ.
Who
he
could?
starred in Fox TV's Herman's Head as the pituitary gland. He was also in a pair of low-budget productions, the Anoka County Board, the musical, and also From Baywatch to Cheeseburgers, the David Hasselhoff story.
Great movie.
Oh yeah,
Great movie.
they captured the essence.
Oh, yeah. And let's not forget our own senior receptionists. Barbie made her screen debut in King Kong. Barb and Errol appeared with the Marx Brothers in A Night at the Opera. And Nancy had a small role in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Yep. But we're all real proud of them. Right before they started here at North Metro TV, they all made their returns to the silver screen, starring in Saws 1, 3, 5, and 7. Respectively.
They just keep getting better.
I tell you. Yeah, let's do another letter. I like that one a lot.
Let's do
I like
it.
that one a lot. All right. There's more than just a letter in this one. All right. We got looks like a check here. Dear Comcast, my mom asked me to mail the payment for the cable bill. Enclosed is our check for $104.
Nice, I'll take that. Next letter.
Wait a minute, you can't just...
Next letter.
There you go.
I'll read this one.
Okay.
See what's inside. Oh, dear North Metro TV, I am the son of the late ambassador from Centerville, where I currently have $100,000 in the bank.
Oh,
Lord-
I'll take that one. 100,000 smackers, here I come.
Yeah, it's probably real.
Let's do the last letter here. We have one more left. Let's see here. This prop isn't working.
Prop. These are letters from actual viewers.
True. Here's the last one. Dear NMTV, where do you get off? Why do you think it's a good idea to show news and sports 6 times a day
I don't like where this is headed.
instead of giving the people what they want? And what they want is King of Queens. I don't think you understand the complexity of parcel delivery related comedy. It's a genre you just wouldn't understand. I believe that shows need more jokes about khaki shorts and people's weight related differences. It's classic television and you clearly don't get it. Stop being part of the problem and start being part of the solution, you arrogant power ants.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's signed here, but I think we should maybe keep this one anonymous.
That's probably for the best.
Okay, so let's just say that it says D. Fox.
Whoa, wait. I think that's a little too obvious. You should probably say something like Devery F.
Good point. Actually, Kenton, hold on a second. All of these letters have the same return address.
You are right. Strange.
Well, folks, that's all the letters we had for tonight. So, without further ado, here's Kenton with the first of the awards.
First up is the Rookie of the Year award. The award goes to a person who has made significant contributions in their first year with us at North Metro TV. This year's winner is just a year removed from middle school. And while young, he already has the video production experience of a 97-year-old. Which actually doesn't sound nearly as impressive when you put it that way, because most senior citizens don't have the most video production experience. I'm not knocking them, you know. But video production, not a typical strength of most senior citizens, except for Bruce. He's pretty good. There is a learning curve to shooting sports when you're not a sports guy. If you don't know what a kicker is in football, or a quarterback, or if you think a layup's worth 3 points. A fair amount of camera tape and graphics operators need to start at square one, or earlier. He might not be wowing anyone with his sports knowledge prowess, but he has been impressive with his video skills. After watching his YouTube video of Pi Day, I became almost as big a fan of him and the video as I am of pie, and if you know me, you know I love pie. He has picked up those skills because of his persistence, passion, and genuine love for making TV. He shows up to the majority of our truck shoots and fits in quite well with the crew. Over the last year, he has operated camera, scorebox, audio, and of course, tape. He's always full of ideas, almost as full as his bladder. When you look at those doughy cheeks, the puppy dog eyes, and the genuine smile, and the spirit not yet crushed by the world, it's almost inspiring. He may be best known to the truck crew for the following 3 words: replay on blue. Our 2012 Rookie of the Year is Devery Foss. Congratulations. That's a good start.
Wow, what a great start. I expected this, but yeah. I love working on the truck though. It's a whole new experience outside of what I've done before, and I'm slowly learning sports. That's a good thing. So, thank you.
You've got time.
Yeah.
And while young, that is Devery's 4th award. He's also won for the Public Access Spirit Award, Excellence in Editing, and most programs produced by a new producer. And I know he's looking to take home even more tonight. Yeah, he told me he's looking for the sweep, but that's just between him and me. I won't tell anyone. The next award is the ENG Shooter of the Year Award. For those of you unfamiliar with the acronym, ENG stands for European Nursing Group. That doesn't sound relevant. Electroneurography, England. Here it is, right on my script. Electronic news gathering. I was way off. We use ENG shooters mostly for shooting highlights and interviews for our show, Sports Den. I thought there'd be significantly more applause when I mentioned the name of the show. That sounds better. Also for our productions in the field. We shot more ENG this fall and winter than in any year past. We needed skilled professionals to help us with our coach and captain's features, as well as shooting games, post-game interviews, and getting sound bites. Our winner did some of all those things and some editing as well. He was most valuable in the winter playoffs, shooting state wrestling down at the X and state diving down at the U of M Aquatic Center in the same hectic weekend, capturing some big moments like the winning dive of Sean Leverton from Blaine. Also capturing the medal ceremony and getting the interview right after being crowned the champion. It's those moments that you only get one chance to catch, and you want to make sure you get it right. There's an old saying I just made up: you can never have enough good shooters. And we're happy to have one who continues to improve each time we send him. You have to wait till the name is called. You have to wait. Congratulations to the winner of the ENG Shooter of the Year Award, AJ Gehring. You just want to give it to him, don't you? He's so cute. He's adorable. Well, AJ was not able to make it, so we have a pre-taped acceptance speech.
Well, this is great. This award is fantastic. I've been dreaming about this for I don't know how long. I'd like to thank
You didn't win an Emmy.
What?
You didn't win an Emmy.
Well, what's this thing?
That would be your award.
Well, in that case, thanks.
He is grateful. That's AJ's second award. He also won for Intern of the Year. In the last decade, no one has been able to hold a candle to the pseudo-Canadian graphical genius that we know as Matt Waldron, or as the jazz community knows him as Smooth Yeti Crisco. But this year's winner holds a small votive in front of his squat shrine. Keeping in-game stats, updating and displaying graphics in a timely fashion is of great value to a sports production. It's most often the difference in a graphic making error. Every second counts, and if you don't have the right graphic when you need it, then you shouldn't show it. Most of the graphics that are made don't make error, but you make them all so that when you need it, you've got it. This year's winner gets the graphics when you need them. He is skinny, though well-rounded, operating camera, tape, and audio along with graphics. He has also helped us out plenty of times by filling in as an announcer. He is consistent and hardworking, helping us out on sports and shoots, and despite what he says on an almost daily basis, he really does like working with us and does not, in fact, hate us. He'll make a great husband for his fiancée. I know this because he's a great guy, as was evidenced by him recently donating 47 pounds of hair to charity. And I'm guessing by the ginger hue, it went to the Ronald McDonald House. Congratulations to our winner of the Matt Waldron Character Generator Award, Bobby Erzlin.
Thanks, Kenton.
There you go. That's a firm handshake.
I try and have a firm handshake.
Good.
It seems more professional. So, as stated by Kenton, I did donate my hair this past January. I don't think it quite weighed in at 47 pounds.
Here? Down to there?
No, it was about down to about here, 12 inches or so. So, you know, it was quite a bit. Not to the Ronald McDonald House. They don't accept those types of donations as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah.
Not anymore. They're good now.
Yeah, and I do really enjoy working with everybody on the sports crew. I do tend to say, why do I work here at most of our shoots? It's because I catch a lot of grief from most of the men and now women that we have on our crew. So, yeah, I appreciate the award. Thanks.
Thank you, Bobby. That's Bobby's second award. He also won for Intern of the Year, also nominated for Nutty Buddy. So congratulations. And that award is in the name of Matt Waldron. And Matt Waldron and his special lady had their baby this afternoon at 3:14 in the afternoon. So congratulations to Matt and his new little one, Adeline. So we miss you, buddy. Get better soon. We'll leave the light on for you. The next award is the AFLP On-Air Talent Award. For those of you who don't know, on-air talent are people that we see on TV, such as reporters, anchors, hosts, etc. In the last year and a half, we have dramatically increased the amount of pre- and post-game interviews and even intermission interviews as well, getting interviews with coaches and players. And in order for that to take place, someone has to ask the question and then stick a microphone in front of their face in order for us to hear the answer. And for that, we call them talent. This year's winner started with us with little reporting experience and came back to us several years later with plenty of it. A Centennial High School alum and a Pete Crawford prodigy, he volunteered with us in high school over a decade ago and interned during the summer while attending the University of Missouri for his broadcast journalism degree. He moved on to be an on-air talent in Columbia, Missouri and Chattanooga, Tennessee, before moving on to Jackson, Mississippi, where TV goes to die. He wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. He was out of the TV game for a year and a half before returning home to Minnesota to be with his alien father, and while the circumstances for his return were unfortunate, his reunion with North Metro TV after 8 years was well received and put him back on TV again, which is where we all want to be. It was back in 2002 that he helped coin the phrase Squatch Box while under the impression that new truck staff Matt Waldron was from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. He was not from Saskatoon. He is, in fact, from nearby Martinsville. It's a common misperception, happens all the time. His return was 1 year ago, and he helped commentate spring sports and USA Cup soccer before pulling double duty of field reporter and announcer. for fall and winter sports, a few times as the only announcer and reporter, throwing it to break, running down to grab an interview with a coach or a player, and then heading back up to the booth again for the next intermission or half. He certainly got his stair workouts in, and he is not afraid to ask the tough questions. He also has the voice and inflection of an announcer, as was evidenced by a request during a tennis match that I have him speak softer, as everyone on every court could hear him perfectly. He has passion, there's no denying it. The winner of the AFLP On-Air Talent Award and Master of the Power Whisper is Matt Johnson.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Kenton. Thank you. That was too loud for tennis.
Yeah, it was.
I appreciate this very much. It has been a pleasure to be back in the TV game. I really, really do miss it, and it is my passion. And while commercial television does not pay you like you might think they do, and for other reasons I did get out of the business, but being here allows me to still pursue my passion, and I really appreciate that. You guys are great, a lot of fun to work with. I really enjoyed Jeff Dinsmore. We make a great team, I think, and I know we have a couple new announcers coming on board too, and it's certainly great to have everybody here. I had some funny joke thing to say, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I accept this award with great elegance. Thank you.
It was worth it. Now I'm going to turn it over to Eric Houston with some of the awards for the public access.
All right, so now it's time to turn our attention to public access for the first time tonight. As always, or at least as we've done for the last couple of years, I'm going to be announcing both the winners and the runners-up. A few weeks ago, the nominations for all of the awards went out, and while there can only be one winner, we also want to acknowledge all of the runners-up tonight, so I will be pausing to announce who the runners-up are. If you hear your name, please stand up so we can all see and give you a big round of applause. And my lovely assistant, Ms. Heidi Arnson. Heidi, where are you? Will, with great grace and panache, bring you your runner-up certificate. So, to get things started, I want to tell you that every year, dozens of people come to North Metro TV for the first time. They take our introductory classes, volunteer on our studio shoots, and sooner or later turn their sights to producing their own programs. For most, this is an uphill battle. It seems that no matter how many classes you may have taken, there's always a sharp learning curve to overcome to get that first program done. And television production is time-consuming, especially shows that you're just making in your spare time. Even some of our most seasoned producers can take a year or more to finish a program. That's why I'm always so impressed every year that a handful of rookie producers defy the odds, working diligently to produce that first program, if not a second, third, and fourth, in their first year. And so we like to honor that diligence every year by honoring these rookie producers with our award for the most programs produced by a new producer. This year, the runners-up for the most programs produced by a new producer are Josh Bostrom for Catalyst and Mark Johnson for Log of the Kensington Runestone. Our first honoree tonight came to the studio with a very simple and elegant idea. You see, she wanted to broadcast a little joy into people's homes with some inspirational words and images that she'd already composed herself, accompanied by a soft, welcoming voiceover and soothing music and sounds. And while the idea was simple, she quickly found out that the execution was a bit more difficult. Still, she worked with unending dedication and unflagging dedication and enthusiasm to produce 9 installments of the program she calls the Dewdrop Inn. This year's award for most programs produced by a new producer goes to Tony Radman. Thank you.
Thank you. We keep saying thank you, thank you.
That's
thank
true.
You to each other. It gets kind of obnoxious, but we worked together. I could have never done it without Eric because I was ready to give up so many times, and he said, "You can do it. You can do it," and I could. I did it. So thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Without any doubt, North Metro TV volunteers love making television. And it always delights me to see them share that love with their friends and their neighbors, but never more so than when they share it with their families. I'm always happy to see whole families working together on a project. Husbands and wives, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, even whole family units often spend time at NMTV working together on a TV program as a family. Last year, we introduced the Family Affair Award to honor those families who have been brought even closer together by public access television. And I'm proud to continue that tradition this year. This year, the runners-up for the Family Affair Award are Steve Carlson and Linda Davis, the Brooks family, Steve, Susie, and Jonathan, and the Sargent family, Laura, Jordan, Jameis, and Jaden. This past year, I was thrilled to introduce a new program called Public Access Productions. The idea of which was for me to produce a handful of programs, giving all of you, and especially those of you who might not be interested in producing your own program, even more opportunities to work on television shows. Of course, we have a few regular faces at these public access production shoots. Among them, a father-daughter's team that truly exemplifies the spirit of the Family Affair Award, with their sheer enthusiasm and the fun they clearly have working together as father and daughter. So this year, the Family Affair Award goes to the Kaburka family, Jeff, Jen, and Mackenzie. Now, the Kaburka family could not be here tonight, so in the spirit of the night, Devery will accept on their behalf.
You know, we may have won this award, but I think we all know who it really should have gone to.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish I could have been here, sorry.
2011 saw a lot of new faces debut on North Metro TV. Thanks to programs like the NMTV Basement, Letters to Santa, and Phantom of the Opera, a whole company of actors made their debut on our airwaves this year, alongside our venerable and talented TV hosts. Now, we've honored these hosts on and off over the years with our Host of the Year award. But this year, we wanted to honor hosts and actors and all manner of on-screen talent with a new award that we're calling Action. So this year, the runners-up for Action are Pastor Al Garacki of Kingswood Church, Bacola Oriola for Imprisoned, and Anita Wardlaw for A Fresh New Day, the NMTV Basement, and Phantom of the Opera. Fittingly enough, our first ever Action Award goes to someone who is both a host and an actor. Since 2010, his wit, easygoing charm, and playful personality have delighted fans of his own show, Minnesota Hot Rod TV. But I'd have to say, of all his roles, my favorite has been his portrayal of Santa Claus in our 2 Letters to Santa specials. Programs he fills with such an infectious kindness and joy that it's hard to believe he isn't St. Nick himself. This year, the Action Award goes to Joe Karpowitz.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Geez, cool, huh? Well, this year I think we'll be adding an addition to the Santa show.
That's true. That's true. Joe's wife has already volunteered to be our Mrs. Claus.
So it should be fun. Mr. and Mrs. Claus is here. Thank you.
Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, 2011 saw a sharp rise in the number of opportunities our members have to work on TV shows, both on our public access productions programs and on the many increasingly ambitious programs being produced by all of you. Because of this, 2011 was the first year in recent memory that it made sense for us to try and keep track of the number of volunteer hours all of you were volunteering to the station. And it's my pleasure to announce that in 2011, public access volunteers volunteered 650 hours to North Metro TV. Yeah. So, to honor that amazing enthusiasm for volunteering, we've created the Public Access Volunteer of the Year Award to honor the volunteer who, in a given year, volunteered the most hours. And this year, the runners-up are Rick Bostrom with 44 hours, Laura Sargent with 32 hours, and Bart Tooker with 42 and a half hours. And they're all at the same table. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that we can all probably guess who this year's Public Access Volunteer of the Year is. He's an absolute fixture at North Metro TV, volunteering on practically everyone's program at least once, and working on such diverse shows as Exploring Aviation, Art Beat, Imprisoned, the NMTV Basement, and How Old. In fact, this past year, he even began volunteering for our sports department, racking up a truly obscene number of volunteer hours. In all seriousness, I couldn't be more proud, and I think it humbles all of us at NMTV, staff and volunteer alike, that he likes what we all do so much that he can hardly wait to volunteer. This year's, with 236 and a half hours, this year's Public Access Volunteer of the Year is Devry Foss.
Well, I want to thank Eric and everyone we work with on the public access production shoots. They're always fun, and we get to do creative things and have a bunch of fun. A lot of times Eric brings snacks, so it's even better. That's pretty much why I come. So, thank you.
Thank you. And so, before this turns any more into the Devry Foss Show, here's Kent and Kip.
The next award is the Golden Voice Award, which goes to a commentator of sports. A fixture in the community, our winner is not just the voice of North Metro TV sports, he is also an example of perseverance. A passion to his craft and the local schools has driven him to volunteer the majority of his 25 years working with North Metro TV, North Metro Media Center, North Metro Public Access, NCTV, and North Central Cable. All those places are us. He has seen quite a bit of change over the years, but he has remained a steady rock on which many of our broadcasts have leaned. Commentating sports is certainly tougher than it seems. What's so hard about it? You just talk about what's happening. People that come in with that attitude usually aren't very successful when they get their chance to try their hand at it. If there's one thing I've learned about commentating sports, it's that you can't replace experience. If you've called 1,000 games, it shows. If you know sports, people will be able to tell. Announcers are the most scrutinized position on the crew, as they're the only ones that people get to hear, and everyone knows when they make a mistake. One thing you can't fake is passion, and our announcers have that. It's no secret that he has battled health issues over the years, and that's exactly what it's been, a battle. I can't even imagine what it's been like for him to go through it on such a regular basis, but he fights. He doesn't give in even in the darkest of days. I've seen him down, but he doesn't stay down very long. The biggest challenge came this winter when we learned that he had suffered a stroke. His speech had suffered as a result. It was difficult to form the words that had come so easily his entire life. For an announcer and a host of a sports show, this is about as big of a challenge as it comes. Through speech therapy and sheer determination, Jeff has been improving every week. I wasn't sure how the viewers would respond in the meantime, but was delighted to hear from people that approached me at games and called me on the phone to offer their support for him. They were genuinely interested in his welfare and wished him well in his recovery. It wasn't just Spring Lake Park, but it was all of our schools. I give credit to both the North Metro TV viewing community and our Golden Voice Award winner for their faith in each other. I've long been a fan of him calling games and co-hosting SportsCenter with me. I'm an even bigger fan of his dedication to his family, faith, friends, and the North Metro TV. He's my partner, my co-host, my friend, and my inspiration. The winner of the Golden Voice Award, Jeff Dinsmore. Thank you. You earned it. Thanks.
I want to say thanks. It's been really tough, but I'm going to keep going because that's what I like to do. My wife is here, and Patty, and I appreciate it. And you guys are the big ones. You guys are the ones that are going to do it all the time. But I'm going to keep going, and I'll keep trying and do the best that I can. Thank you and the crew and everybody. I really appreciate it. And my buddy, Kenton, I don't know what I'd do without you, Bill. You are the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, next up is La Camera Extraordinaire. It's the award given to a versatile cameraman or woman, but he is a man. I'll just let you know that right away because it's going to make the rest of my pronouns much easier. This year's winner has been working for us for over 2 years, and he has put in his time on game camera as well as high-tight, slash, and handheld camera as well. He has a great work ethic and has given us a lot of flexibility with our camera positions, being able to put him at any camera position. He is a regular fixture with near-perfect attendance. And while near-perfect attendance doesn't get you the top parking spot, he's still probably going to park there anyway. In addition to camera, he has also filled in an audio and score box, helping out wherever needed. And he continues to make his own programs on Channel 14 while still shooting regularly for us. He just can't get enough. Yes, he has operated cameras 1 through 4, but not all at the same time. That's just a legend. And there is a legend, the legend of Rob Clark. Not done. Wait for it. You're close, it's close. No, you sit down, you sit down. I remember one such Clark sighting. Emerging from the woods, 2 cameras, 2 tripods, the boxes, 2 cables around his neck. I was impressed, nay, in awe. But while I was amazed, I remembered my survival training and made myself appear taller while in the fetal position, remaining perfectly still while not making direct or indirect eye contact. I'm here today because of that training. Thank you, Center for Clark Control. Thank you. Congratulations to the winner of the 2012 La Camera Extraordinaire Award, Rob Clark. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you to my family who misses me many nights a week for sports. Sports kind of become a passion. Love to be doing whatever I can do to make a good production. And I do like to make the least amount of trips as possible, so if I still have something I can grab or hang on to, I will do that, as long as my legs will bear that weight. But thank you, crew. Thank you again, Kenton. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob. And that is Rob's at least 4th award. I think he won a public access one, yeah. So you also won Rookie of the Year in Ironman with us. And I forgot to mention Jeff, I shouldn't forget, he had a record 9 awards. It's his 9th award, 7 Golden Voice Awards, also Lifetime Achievement, and the AFLP Award. So he's got the record. Devery, something to shoot for. He's got it. You want it. Next award is the Dean Hombo Award. 11 years ago, the world was mildly shocked when Dean Hombo took home the coveted prize. He originally received the award for taking the shot of the year from Tony Hull, a large athletic quarterback that could get you extra yards by a lowering of the shoulder. It was a big hit. Grass in the lens, beautiful, exquisite, really. But Dean was eventually able to eat solid food, so that was good. We used to give an award to the crew member that took the biggest hit. But when camera operators started running onto the fields, courts, and even rinks of play in order to win this coveted award, we knew we had to make some changes. We now give the award to the best camera operator, and that's the proper motivation. The award is all about the camera work these days. This year's winner has been volunteering and working with us for over 9 years. He is a crew member that we count on the most and the camera op that I rely on the most as a director. Behind every good director is good camera operators. We don't have a good director, but we do have the other half of that equation. And if I could clone this guy repeatedly, together we could rule the world. I mean, make good TV. His value is difficult to measure. He does so much for us. He comes in to work on graphics, drives trucks for us, and helps out on several staff shows that we have at the station. He sets the tone for the rest of the crew, and the best way to make him upset is to not work very hard during setup and teardown. I recommend not making him upset. When he's on camera, he's my nookie blankie. I always know he's got the shot, whether it's live or for replay. And in sports television, every second counts. If I need something, he'll get it by the time I finish asking for it. And everyone likes that because it means I talk slightly less. Every bit makes a difference. Congratulations to this year's winner of the Dean Hombo Award, Mike Bouchard. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah. Ken's always looking for a shot, and
You got it.
I got it. And remember that one shoot we were at? The guy just kind of came into my camera, and I kind of summoned him.
You summoned the summoner.
Yeah. But thanks to everybody, the crew, Kenton, Matt, and everybody else. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike. And that is Mike's 8th award. So he's one behind Jeff. We got a good tally going. He's also won for Rookie of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, Useful Utility, Platinum Shoulder Award, Dean Hombo Award, and 2 silver-plated shoulder awards. Not that we're bragging. Now we're going to turn it over back to Eric.
So I've been working on it, and if anybody wants to know, the first word in the word scramble is television. Television. I know. 2 or 3 years ago, we created the Golden Microphone Award to honor excellence in musical programming. Since then, it sometimes seems like musical television has taken over our channel, with musical programs and even music videos becoming increasingly common. In fact, even programs that aren't really musical at all have begun to be permeated by music, with more access users and producers than ever inviting live bands into the studio and having them on their shows, creating original theme songs for their shows, and just overall expressing interest in sound design and sound editing than ever before. In fact, sound in general has become so important to all of you that this year we decided to expand the Golden Microphone Award to honor sound recording of all types. So with that in mind, the runners-up for this year's Golden Microphone Award are Devery Foss for Pi Day, Karaoke Classics, and Stevie Lindsay for Stevie's Encouraging Songs. This next honoree has really been on the forefront of this new emphasis on sound. Over the last year, I've seen his hand in numerous productions, offering advice on how to best record and mix sound, and taking the time to instruct those who are interested in learning how to do it themselves. He is another staple of the studio, volunteering on a truly staggering number of programs, offering his enormously talented ear time and again without a moment's hesitation. This is a man who is so dedicated and so interested in the art of sound mixing that he tracked down the manual for our Studio A soundboard and printed it out to study in his own spare time, so that now he knows how to use the darn thing better than I do. This year, it is my pleasure to present the Golden Microphone Award to Bart Tooker.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Bart.
I'd like to thank people at NMTV. You know, I've learned a lot over the last couple of years at NMTV, and they take their time to teach and ask questions, but they never make you feel like you shouldn't have asked that question. And on top of all of that, they make it fun, and I've really enjoyed it, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Bart. I suppose it isn't surprising that the majority of the programs on Channel 14 are either 30 or 60 minutes long. After all, that's what television is. Flip around the dial and you'll find TV shows that are either a half an hour long or an hour long. But NMTV is special, and we've always wanted you to make the programs you wanted to make and make them the length you want them to be, whether that's 15 minutes, 90 minutes, or in one recent program, Michelle Curak's terrific Exploding Reality, 103 minutes and 1 second. And while NMTV volunteers have never really had a problem creating longer shows, the short ones have been far less common, at least until recently. Perhaps inspired by YouTube and other internet sites that showcase videos 10 minutes or shorter, more and more of our users have started to experiment with shorter programs, challenging themselves to create something special and meaningful in only 10 minutes or less. True, they're harder to schedule, which means they might not get seen as often, but these programs are all as interesting as programs 10 times their length. So tonight we wanted to shine the spotlight on these short subjects with an award that we're fittingly calling the Short Subject Award. And this year, the runners-up for the Short Subject Award are Debbie Foss for Pi Day and Morgan Lavandowska for Sailing to Byzantium. Like most producers, the recipients of our first ever Short Subject Award are used to doing things in a 30 or 60-minute window. But this year they wanted to try to do something different. And early in the year, they came to me and said that they had shot a program that they felt was special, and they wanted their finished product to reflect that. They wanted the editing to be quick and edgy and a little raw. They wanted to do something different and unique and accomplish just that. 5.5 powerful minutes showcasing a springboard for the arts event called Bounce Bash. This year, the Short Subject Award goes to Artbeat. You look like a deer caught in headlights.
Yeah, well, we felt that way. Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Linda couldn't be here tonight. She's really the producer for Artbeat, but thank you very much. We appreciate the award.
Thank you.
Fun.
Religious programming and public access television go together like peanut butter and chocolate. You could have one without the other, but really, why would you want to? Year after year, more and more religious organizations find our station and start to use our training and equipment to produce a staggering variety of spiritual programs, preaching many different messages in many different voices, but always offering the same things: peace, hope, and love. I'm always proud of the many religious programs that call NMTV home and we honor those programs every year with the Good Word Award. This year, the runners-up for the Good Word Award are Elizabeth Bankelet for The Virtuous Woman, Ann Sandell for Love Power, and David Turnage for Sunday Senior Moments. It seems to me that working in religious circles takes a certain degree of humility. More so than perhaps any other type of program, religious programs demand of their producers to give of themselves for the audience's greater good, with productions transcending hobbies and becoming missions and callings. I don't think I've ever met a producer who's embodied that humility more than our next honoree. He's always slow to take credit. In fact, I wasn't sure I'd be able to get him to come here tonight. Still, I think he's very much deserving of all the praise we can give him. As a producer, he's a one-man crew, filming, editing, and creating the music for his shows all by himself. And these are all talents that I've really watched blossom over this last year. And not content with producing a single program, this year he began producing 3 programs simultaneously: Inspirational Moments, Giving and Grace Christian Center, and Walking in the Fullness of God. This year, the Good Word Award goes to Stevie Lindsay. Oh, come on.
Thanks, Eric. It wouldn't be possible without you, and I appreciate
Thank you, Steve.
And the whole staff.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with our next award, Kenton Kipp.
Thank you. Sound. It's good to hear what you're seeing. Sound. It travels slower than light, but faster than our next recipient. The next award is another new one. It is the award for Best Sound Mixing. You heard me. Not since Rob Baggy and Not Two have we had someone who has specialized in audio production. He started as an intern, a recent grad from Hennepin Tech, with a diploma in audio production. He has taught us some things about audio as we have taught him plenty of things about television productions. He was a quick learner and was able to get in a lot of experience in a short amount of time by showing up to nearly every shoot. He became our main audio guy and provided us with another option at lead tape, operating Do-Re-Mi, along with the score box and some camera as well. But it's the audio that has us presenting the award to him tonight. And if he were here, he could accept it tonight. But as it stands, he is not here. We do, however, have an acceptance video on his behalf. The award for Best Sound Mixing goes to Dan Raffel.
All right, go ahead, you're on.
All right, so this is the part where I thank people for...
You gotta do it louder.
Louder, okay. This is the part where I thank everybody.
I'm sorry, I'm not picking you up. You gotta go louder.
This is the part where I thank everybody. Thanks for the award.
Great, I didn't ask you to yell.
No yelling, okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the award. I appreciate it. This is great. I'm gonna show it to my parents and they're finally gonna be proud of me.
All right, now you're just mocking me.
Seacrest out.
Our next award is Sports Intern of the Year. I was an intern once, and look how that turned out. I know, right? Our internships may not be as glamorous as an internship at a real TV station, whatever that is, But I would contend it's even better. The experience of working hands-on with the equipment and our crew, making TV while getting yelled at me is second to some. You can't get that just anywhere. We prepare our interns for working in the great world of television. Also, as a fallback, we also prepare them for the growing careers of therapeutic oriental massage techniques, bagel toasting, and recording audio of Mel Gibson. Our Intern of the Year award winner did everything that we asked of him. He was always on time and very dependable. He's a hard worker who welcomes new challenges, which is good because we make our interns do stuff. Isn't that right, interns? Got an intern table over here, over there. Yeah. Raise your hand if you are or were an intern at North Metro TV. A lot of them, see? Yep. The future and current of television is here. There's bright things to come. This year's winner started last spring operating camera at a Spring Lake Park boys lacrosse match. He didn't say much, but I could tell that he enjoyed it because he came back again. That's how you know. He became an intern in January and finished at the end of the winter season. He has been running camera, tape, audio, scorebox, and graphics as well. Little is known about this man other than his passion for antiquery. And that's a real word, he said so, and he was right. He saves his words to impart wisdom and to order Arby's. Antiquery and Arby's. We don't know much beyond that. Other than he works here at Majestic Oaks, and they think he's on the clock, so if anyone asks, say that he's serving you, and he'll get you a dinner roll. They're pretty good. So stand up, get your award, and get me a dinner roll. Congratulations to this year's Intern of the Year, Stephen Caron. Congratulations, thanks.
Thank you, Kenton, for making me look good. I want to thank Kenton and Matt for letting me work on the crew. They're really a fun group to work with, and it's great to work with people who care so much about making good television. And I'm looking forward to more productions. Thanks.
That is literally the most I've heard him speak. The next award is a new one. It is the award for Editor of the Year, or you could call it a magician, because editing makes TV like magic. Editing is an extremely important facet of television, and when you decide to shoot a feature for every one of your 47 sports teams in the fall and winter seasons, it's a good idea to have some help when you shoot and edit several of those features. While editing is a rather simple concept, it takes a lot of skill and experience to produce a quality product. Our Editor of the Year was last year's E&G of the Year, so we knew we could shoot, and when you can edit the things that you shoot, you can keep those things in mind while you're shooting, but then again, there's no one to blame but yourself. We couldn't find much fault in what he was able to produce, and having him, AJ, and Damien help us with our features, we had the best coach and captains features since we started 5 years ago. He even had a little fun by creating a special wrestling package that we will, lawyer's shaking his head no. Okay, but he did send us a video that was made on our way down to shoot some coaching captains at Spring Lake Park this last August. He's also shaking his head no. All right, well, I can tell you the story at least. His vibe took a hit on Highway 65, right where we used to have that billboard of Jeff and myself. We didn't cause the accident, but I'm sure when our billboard was up, we probably caused a few of those, right? Yeah? Our winner of the Editor of the Year is Roger Larson. Roger is not here, but it's not because he got in an accident. He's getting married later this month, so they're doing a lot of preparation, so he wanted to take the month off to prepare for that. But we were able to get him to pre-tape a video acceptance speech.
This is the award that I have received. I appreciate this award as shown here. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenton. As Kenton just mentioned, and as we all know, editing is when a show comes together, when hours of unfinished footage combine into something greater than we ever thought they could. We also know that editing is time-consuming. It sometimes seems that for every hour of footage we shoot, it takes another 3, 4, even 5 hours to shape it into a finished program. But at the end of all those grueling hours, the editor gets something special. He or she is always the first person to see that finished show, to see all that footage turn into the program it was always meant to be. It can be a fun job, but one that requires equal parts patience and artistry, qualities that these next honorees have in spades. This year's runners-up for our Public Access Editor of the Year award are Artbeat, Rick Larson for Love Power, and Fran Sorensen for Positive Investigations. Our next honoree really challenged himself last year, putting together one of the most complicated programs I've seen here, an entire feature-length presentation of a play based on the Screw Tape Letters. Cut together from 9 separate camera angles shot over 3 nights, the resulting piece is extremely well edited and is one of the finest edited programs I've seen at North Metro TV. And despite the often nightmarish editing process, he's at it again, this time with an adaptation of a play based on the movie It Happened One Night. Add to that his instrumental role in helping a rookie producer create a complicated program about the Kensington Runestone, and I think everyone here will see why Rob Clark is this year's Public Access Editor of the Year. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have to at least give a shout out to my daughter who helped shoot a lot of those camera angles, Britta. I didn't know when I did Screw Tape how involved it would be. I literally finished the final DVD the week before this last year's play started. So, and the one I'm currently working on now, I still am not finished yet, but I have 12 camera angles on that one, I believe. But I love this. This is kind of my passion now, is to turn something into something that looks like a real movie. So, thank you, Eric.
Thank you. As anyone who's ever sat in the big chair can tell you, directing can be a very demanding task. It is, after all, up to the director to make a series of split-second decisions that will decide how the program looks and feels. And if the director isn't also the producer, as is so often the case here at North Metro TV, they also have to worry about making sure that the program looks and feels the way the producer wants it to. So, yes, directing can be a demanding job, but it isn't thankless. We have many wonderful directors here at NMTV, each of whom is greatly appreciated by their enormously thankful producers, and by all of us here tonight with the Director of the Year Award. This year's runners-up for the Director of the Year Award are Rick Bostrom for Exploring Aviation and Artbeat, Rick Larson for Love Power, and Lee Olson for The Virtuous Woman. This year's recipient of the Director of the Year Award is one of NMTV's most regular volunteers. He's one of our jack-of-all-trades types who's equally comfortable running a camera or a soundboard, but seems most at home in the director's chair. There he does the impossible, making the daunting task look effortless, with consistent grace and calm, never settling to just press buttons, but always helping to teach and mold his fellow volunteers, and doing all he can to make the show he's working on the best it can be. This year's Director of the Year is Jerry Jones. Thank you, Jerry.
Keep having fun.
Yeah.
We just do this to have fun, and I agree with Deborah, we do it for the food too. Thanks.
Tonight, we've honored editors, producers, sound engineers, and directors. These are all the same positions that are honored in the major Hollywood award ceremonies, the Emmys, the Oscars. They're the positions that everyone knows, that everyone has heard of. But we know that there are many more positions than that needed to make a TV show. What about the floor directors, the tape roll-in operators, the production assistants, the script supervisors, and the teleprompter operators? These jobs may be unsung, and the layman may not know who they are or what they do, but we do. And we know that they're just as important as the directors and the producers and everyone else. These are the unheralded crew positions that make a great TV show possible, and we felt it was about time they got their due with a new award we're calling the Behind the Scenes Award. This year, the runners-up for the Behind the Scenes Award are Cindy Dietz for How Old, Zach Heim for the NMTV Basement, and Shelley Rinke for The Virtuous Woman. Our first ever recipient of the Behind the Scenes Award is always a joy to have on set. He's the kind of guy who's up for anything. He doesn't care what job you give him, he just wants to help and to have fun doing it. Over the last year, he's become an absolutely indispensable member of any number of crews, including our own public access production shoots and the show Imprisoned. He is also, as I told him recently, the best floor director I have ever worked with. Instantly able to take control of the studio floor, making sure information gets where it needs to go when it needs to get there, and making sure everyone's doing what they need to be doing to make the best show possible. It's an absolute pleasure to work with him and an honor to present him with this award. This year's Behind the Scenes Award goes to Robert Pajak.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
This guy is great. He needs a hand for helping us.
Well, thank you.
Using an old word from my age group, it's been a gas. You know? And I think one of the things that's been just very difficult for me in general is how intimidating all those buttons are in the director's studios and in the cameras. And it's really difficult, and the public at large really doesn't understand how many buttons there are. But Eric has made it quite simple, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you, Robert. Thank you. A TV show doesn't happen without a crew. It just doesn't. Whether that crew is one person or 10, someone needs to work ceaselessly behind the camera to turn dreams into reality. At NMTV, we have so many fantastic crews. Oftentimes, they're groups of volunteers who come together once or twice as needed, but we also have a handful of crews who come together month in and month out to become the backbone of an entire series of programs. I'm always impressed by the dedication of these regular crews who we honor every year with the Crew of the Year Award. This year, the runners-up for the Crew of the Year Award are Artbeat, Karaoke Classics, and The Virtuous Woman. I could not be more proud of all of the shows on NMTV. Each one is so well made, and I don't think that any one is better or more important than any of the others. For me, it's like choosing between children. Still, every so often, a topic comes along, a show comes along that tackles an issue that needs to be addressed and fearlessly says what needs to be said. One such issue is the tragedy of human trafficking, a heartbreaking societal ill whose end is championed by Bucola Oriola. Honestly, the anti-human trafficking community could not have a more ardent and well-spoken advocate than Bucola. But when it came time for her to make her own TV show, she was the first to admit that she was only one woman and couldn't do it alone. And so when it came time for her to find a crew to help her, I was so pleased that she found such talented and dedicated people, many of them strangers to her, to rally to her cause. Robert, Laura, Jordan, Jameis, Jaden, and of course Bucola are a truly special crew. So it's my pleasure to present the Crew of the Year Award to the crew of Imprisoned. All of you, come up here. Come on, all of you. Oh, careful.
Thank you. You didn't mention everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, there is Robert, and there is Bart, and there is also Devry, who stole the show today. Because, because I'm seeing all the awards on his table, and I think he deserves it. Sometimes I think that Devry lives at North Metro TV. Because there is hardly any time I go there that is not there. But we are very grateful for this. I'm more thankful to my crew. They have been working selflessly. We couldn't have produced the show without them. There is no way I could have done it all by myself, because even though I have an experience in journalism, my expertise is in print, which is very different from broadcast and editing. And I'm so grateful to Eric. Actually, I see Eric as a father figure that is always nudging you to the right path and keep encouraging you. Many times I want to give up, but he tells me I can do it. So I'm very grateful to you, and I'm so thankful to my crew. God bless you all. Thank you.
And now, once again, Kent and Kip.
All right, I get me not winning Director of the Year, but not even being nominated. I also get. We got a good turnout. I'm glad to see everybody here. We've got the sports crew here and a whole lot of public actors, and I think that's a great thing. A lot of people making TV in this room, and that is fantastic. And if you want an award, we'd like to take your picture lantern free. So please don't run off with your hardware, however many pieces you have. We'd like to take your picture. It is time now for our Volunteer of the Year award. This one goes to the crew member who has put in the most volunteer hours. We used to crew all of our trucks with volunteers and interns. That's the way it was for many years until we added a part-time budget in 2006. But we still rely heavily on volunteers to help us out. We simply can't do it without them. I've certainly learned that when you find some good people that hang around for a while, you count your blessings and really appreciate the time they put in. Each of our volunteers makes our shoots possible. This year's Volunteer of the Year has once again put in the time helping out on the majority of our shoots operating camera. He has a passion for a handheld and was one of those hoping. He's also helping out tonight, pulling some cable for us. He gets a lot of enjoyment volunteering in our crew and at his church as well, which is a large part of why he has been helping us out for over a decade. And now he's been working with TJ, and he's still here, so that's a good sign. He genuinely loves sports and making television. He's an integral part of our team, and we thank him for his dedication to North Metro TV. We always appreciate the work that our crew puts in, especially when it's on their own time, volunteering to help us out. So put down that cable and pick up this giant trophy. Congratulations to our Volunteer of the Year, Eric Svensk. It's a heavy. Nailed you. That's Eric's 7th award, his 5th Volunteer of the Year. He's also won the Dean Holmbo Award and the Platinum Shoulder Award. And now for our final award, I give you Eric. Take him.
I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, first of all. Thank you guys for coming here. This is always a blast to do, and it's because of all of you. So thank you so much. I also want to thank my lovely assistant, Heidi. If she could stand up, please. More than just being my lovely assistant, Heidi is our executive director at North Metro TV. And I know that a lot of the public access producers don't really know her because she leaves around 2 in the afternoon most days. But before that, she puts in a longer day than any of the rest of us. She's been fighting for years to keep the station open, working tirelessly and doing all kinds of meetings and tabulations and everything that's needed to work with the government and try and keep our doors open so that we can do stuff like this so all of you can make television. And we can't thank her enough. I'd like to thank the rest of our crew here tonight, too. Rose, who helped Heidi with the greeting. We have Danica on the soundboard. Ben has been directing tonight. Rick has been doing tech assist, and of course we can't do it without him to help us get through all the glitches. Kenton, of course, who's been sharing the hosting duties tonight. TJ, Michelle, and Damien on cameras. And I got to thank Eric Svensky, who, you know what, he just won the volunteer award, and on the other side of the building, over on the staff side of things, he is a dynamo of volunteering, so much so that he couldn't resist volunteering tonight, where he's been pulling cable for Damien instead of just sitting back and enjoying the show. So thanks again to everyone who makes this show possible. Tonight, it's been my pleasure to present a number of awards honoring everything that's great about public access and public access volunteers. And now it's time for our last award of the evening, the Public Access Spirit Award. This is an award that touches on many of the elements we've already recognized, as it's meant to honor the person who, in the last year, has most embodied the spirit of public access, what public access is all about and what makes it great, with their work, their attitude, their willingness to volunteer, to help and teach their fellow users, and just overall provide a sterling example of all that is great about what we do at NMTV. And so I'm pleased to announce first the runners-up for the Public Access Spirit Award are Jerry Jones, Joe Karpowitz, and Bart Tooker. Our final honoree tonight is an old friend of the station who has impressed me year after year with his boundless enthusiasm for public access television. He is someone who has been a reliable and welcome part of a countless number of shoots, always willing to lend a hand and always ready with an easy word and a smile. This past year, though, I watched him really step up, becoming something of a leader of our community here, volunteering more than ever before, helping many of our newest producers bring their dreams to reality, and taking the time to teach rookie volunteers the ropes on everything from cameras to soundboards to directing in Studio A. I'm extremely impressed with his patience, dedication, and obvious teaching skill, and am personally so thankful for all of his contributions to the station, all of which helped to make my job so easy. This year, the Public Access Spirit Award goes to Rick Bostrom. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, and I'd just like to thank my family, too, for letting me leave all the time. They don't seem to mind. I don't know how that is. But, and just one plug for How Old and Sports Den. If you haven't done those things and volunteered, that's where the fun is. So thank you.
Thank you. thanks again, everybody, for coming. Thank you for a fabulous night. This has been the best VIP awards I think we've ever done.
Best this year, for sure.
Best this year. We've had the most people we've ever had. But you couldn't see it, but behind the scenes, we had the smoothest setup we've ever had. This has been a tremendous night. So thank you all so much. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Mike Bouchard.